Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Linda Sue Plants for You. Excuse me. Today I'm going to do a video. It's going to be kind of a overview of everything that's wrong in my plant world. For those of you that have been following me, you know that I had a bad fall and lost the use of both of my arms. My right arm is back. I'm able to use my right arm, but my left arm is still very, very limited. So there's a lot of things that need to be done here that I'm not able to do yet, but I am doing what I can. But I wanted to just kind of, say hello to everybody and let you know I'm alive and well and getting better every day, and show you what happens when you neglect your plant babies. And although it wasn't done intentionally, and I had no control over it, nevertheless the plants don't know that. So let's start in the living room here with my Pilea peperomoides. Many of you have seen this plant. You watched me repot it not that long ago, and it needs it again. It's in a 12-inch pot right now, and I asked my husband if he could, next time he goes to Menards, if he would pick me up preferably a 16-inch pot. If they even make them that big in terracotta, I don't know. But I have noticed that my Pileas all do better in the terracotta. So I have 3 of them, and all 3 of them are in terracotta. So I'd like to keep it that way if possible, but we'll see. As you can see, there's a lot of babies in there, and some of these babies are as big as, this is a baby, and it's almost as big as the mama. So I don't know. I may end up taking some of those out of there. I really don't want to. I love the fullness of this, but I just don't know if it can sustain itself. So we'll see. But anyway, that's my update on her. This is a shelf that my husband brought home a while ago and refinished for me. Got it at a estate sale. And if you remember, I had this, it was full of my Marantas. They were healthy, they were beautiful, they were doing great. And at some point they got overwatered. I should let you know, for those of you who didn't see my story, I spent 5 days, 4 nights in the hospital. And although my family tried to take care of my plants for me, it's hard to do if you don't otherwise have plants, or you don't know the plant. These plants, because they get very little light, also need very little water. And as you can see, 2 of them are, this one is coming back. I got a new leaf on it. This one, I'm not sure. I'm going to just leave it for a little bit and see what happens. It's not a huge loss. All of these came from one little tiny plant I bought a long time ago at Stein's, and I turned it into a lot of new plants, including some that I've given away. So I'm not too upset about it. It'll come back. When I come back 100%, then I will be able to tend to these much better. As far as that's my Black Pagoda lipstick plant. She's doing very well. I don't think you can see what I'm trying to show you here, but there it is. She's got a lot of new growth this year. There's a lot of new shoots up in the top of the pot. My Burrow's tail is doing fantastic. She's growing a lot. She's really put on a lot of new shoots up in top too. My lipstick plant, not so much. It still feels okay. The leaves aren't falling off, but if you compare that to pictures from my past videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. She just looks really sick, and what happened is she got too dried out. So that one is going to break my heart if I lose that one, because it's very hard to find. It's the curly lipstick, and beautiful color, and it was so healthy. But I'm not giving up on her either. And the same with my goldfish plant. She's finally getting some new flowers, new goldfish. So she's doing okay. Alright, I'm going to go into the dining room now, so bear with me while I make that move. Alright, and here is my mess. I've got a spider plant that needs to be repotted desperately. I've got my other Marantas that, if you remember, I had these in that hanging basket thing that my daughter bought for me, and these plants were so full and beautiful, and I think they got overwatered. Part of my problem, friends, is I cannot handle any kind of heat. Anything over 68 degrees, I'm extremely uncomfortable. Part of that is because of my health issues, and part of it was because of the medication I was on. So my plants suffered because, you know, you can't... A consistent 68 degrees you'd think would be okay, but then you got to back off the watering, which I didn't do. It was my own fault. I messed up. So I'm trying to nurse these back. I took them out of the pot so the soil could dry out. This one is okay now. But there again, I mean, these are pretty hardy plants for me. I know they'll come back. It just makes me sad that they had to go through that at all. And then I've got, let me see if I can get up here. I've got fish hook, string of bananas that the bottom, the parts that was hanging down were all healthy, but from about halfway up to the pot it was all brown. So I'm trying to revive this. I wound it around inside the pot, and I'm keeping the top of the soil damp, hoping that it will re-root, that I won't lose it. And I've got an aloe here that, see if I can move this, hold on. As you can see, has issues. That, I'm not sure how that happened. This plant was in my bedroom, and somehow one of us must have brushed up against it and broke the leaves on it. I'm very sad about that because that was a beautiful aloe, but I guess it's going to be okay. I'm just going to take off those broken leaves and start over. And, you know, it was sticking out good. I bet you if I measured it from end to end, it would probably be about 1.5 feet. So it was pretty wide, and I'm not sure that I want to take up my valuable space here with one plant. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. But that's on my list of things to do. This is my Ripple Peperomia I'm giving to my daughter. And I don't know why I bought that. I did that once before, and after I got home I thought, why did I buy that? I really don't even care for it. And I don't know why it is, but I think it's because it was such a common plant years ago that it just doesn't seem all that special to me. But my daughter wants it, so that's a good thing. And then my beautiful, beautiful strawberry begonia. It's barely hanging on. This was overwatered, and I felt really bad about that. That I didn't catch in time, but there are some new shoots growing. I think you can see. So my plan is to dig the part of the plant out that's still alive and repot it in a smaller pot, and I'm sure that she too will bounce back, but it's going to take a repotting, and I haven't even attempted to do that with my situation here. I might try tomorrow. I did notice last night that I could raise my arm further than I did the day before, so I'm going to give it one more day, and then I'm going to see if I can't repot. I'm pretty sure I can do it standing up, so I don't have to, you know, pick my arm up above any higher than if I get to a certain point, and it's very painful. So if I can do it standing up, then I'll be able to do it, but that's been very difficult standing is very difficult for me as well right now. So I have some challenges I've got to overcome, but I know with time I will. So just please keep me in your prayers. They are working. I am getting better with every passing day, and I appreciate all of those of you that have me on your heart and in your prayers. All right, now back here, I'm not going to walk back there, folks, but that is my kangaroo paw fern. Let me see if I can just zoom in for you. I'm so excited about this plant. It was very, very full when I bought it, and then I lost it. I thought the whole plant was gone. And in one of my past videos, you'll remember, if you've been following me, I saw a tiny little bit of new growth. It was about a ½ inch. And I got so excited because that told me it was still alive and still trying. And now look. I mean, and if I had been able to really care for this the way I should have, it would probably be twice that thickness. But that's still a lot considering. So very happy about that. And then just some other plants that I have to address. Mostly it's the repotting that I got to work on. You can see my rubber tree back there. She's got all kinds of new growth. And I got some ferns down there in the corner. And again, I apologize for the distance here, but I can't get back there. I can get about this far though. My boat lily that I got from Suzette, from Suzette's Gardens, is growing like crazy. That definitely needs to go in a new pot. It's busting out the pot. And by the way, if you haven't seen her, gone to her channel, you really should if you're a plant lover, because she's got some awesome plants inside and out. She has many, many plants and much knowledge about them. So check her out. It's called Suzette's Gardens. Down here are some plants that I think one of them is the red anthurium, and I'm not sure if that's going to even come back. I'm not sure what the other one is. I think it's oh yeah, it was a calathea. It had problems. It had pests. So I cleaned it all up, cut it back, and stuck it back here. I'm hoping that it will come back. And then behind there you can see a few on my red lipstick. That plant also needs to be repotted and attended to. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you remember a couple videos back, I had a little tiny piece of, back in May, my husband and I went to Milliger's, and on the floor was a little piece of the Tradescantia, otherwise called Wandering Jew. And it was just a little piece, about a 7 or 8 inch piece. And look at, I mean, it just keeps going. That thing's about 2 feet long. That needs to be cut back. I want to make that full, put it in a pot and make it full. And then I'm going to make extra pots for my girls, because they both want more hanging plants. And that's a fast growing plant. So, oh, and there's my garden. I don't know if you can see. Hubby's been tending it, and I can see he needs to pull some weeds. But he's been bringing in sugar snap peas almost every night. He picks a handful, and I just love those straight out of the garden. They're sweet like candy. And the tomatoes are starting to come, and the peppers, and green beans we've had for a while, although those green beans weren't very good this year. So, but that's that. And last but not least, I gotta sit down. Whew, okay. I've been wanting to redo this shelf for a long time, and I just have not been able to due to different circumstances. But I've got quite a few plants on here that need to be moved and repotted. What is it, the dogtail cactus, and I have a little piece of marble queen pothos, and my waffle plant up there I've got to do something with. I lost part of that, but that's what it's doing. But I want to rearrange that. And that's about it. I mean, you can see they really need to be addressed. And the same with these. This is the green spider plant. I believe it's called the Hawaiian spider plant. I want to put that in a bigger pot and put that in back with my big spider plants, which most of you have seen in my earlier videos. And this is my Meekins. She's coming along very slowly, and the leaves are very tiny, but I didn't think she was going to make it, and she is making it, so I'm really happy about that. And that's pretty much my Philodendron Brazil. She's doing great. She needs watering right now. In fact, everything in here needs to be watered. And again, kind of just an overview. I really wanted to separate these. This is my ponytail palm, and there's 4 plants in this pot. And I'd really like to separate them, 1 in each pot, because I don't know why. I just think it would look better if it was just 1 plant, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just take 1 out so there'll be 3. Maybe that would work better. And then this plant here I need to do something with. This is a plant my granddaughter talked me into buying when we were at Pick and Save last year, or a year and a half ago now already. This is a Black Knight or Black Prince. I forget which one. And it's growing crazy wonky. I just don't know what to do with it. I thought I'd just let it go and see what it did, and now I see what it's doing, and I mean, I guess I could just leave it like that, but I don't know. I think I should probably cut it back and take these healthy tops. Let's see if I can get a close-up without jiggling too much. So hard to do with one hand. There. Those are very healthy, and I think I just need to maybe cut those off and make 2 plants with those and give them to my girls and just keep 1 for me. I've got such limited space here, and I have so many plants that I still want to get. Oh, and that was a purple velvet plant that I'm starting for a friend of mine, and she's rooted up pretty good, so I'll probably be giving that to her soon. And then of course I store all I like to keep my terracotta in the house. All my plastic pots I have outside on my planting table, but I like my terracotta to be in here. I don't know why, it's just a thing. Okay, that's about it, folks. I got a lot of work to do, as you can see. My African mask suffered. The edges of the leaves are brown. That was from lack of water, unfortunately. But I'm not worried about it, because she's been with me a long time, and every time I lose a leaf I get 2 new ones. So I'm sure once I'm able to really, you know, get back into the daily routine of taking care of my plants, that's 2 will come back. So the fallout from my lack of attention really wasn't as bad as it could have been when you think about it. I mean, I had my daughter, my granddaughter, and my husband all taking turns watering, and I know my husband was not, he'd feel the soil, I would say to him, well, feel the soil. Does it feel damp? And he'd stick his finger in and pull it out. He says, no, it's dry. And there was soil all over his finger. So he wasn't getting the concept. And again, I'm so, so grateful that I have a husband that would even worry about them and my plants and try to help me with them. But the plants did suffer for lack of the care that they were used to. But we're going to be okay here. I just have to be patient, and eventually we'll be back in business. I have quite a few plants on my wish list that I would still like to get, but I don't dare add to my collection right now because obviously I'm having a hard time taking care of what I got. But I will be. I'm not giving up, and I hope you guys won't give up on me either. I know most of you have been so, so kind, and your words of encouragement mean so much to me. They really, really do. I don't know if you know how much it means to me to read those comments, to know that there's someone else out there that's thinking about me and praying for me and rooting for me to get well. It really makes a whole lot of difference in my life. So I appreciate you very much, and I hope that you all continue to come back, and I hope you guys are all doing okay. I know there are a few people who have written to me and have had their own life's issues, I guess I'll call them, just to sum it up, whether it's financial or health-wise. And like I said in my last video, everybody's got something they got to deal with, folks. Nobody gets through life without some kind of issues. So when you're out and about and you're feeling impatient or somebody's frustrating you, just try to remember that. You don't know what's going on in their life. You know, Pammy from Pammy's Planty Things started the Planty Kindness Project, and that's her saying, and she's so on the money with that. You never know what other people are going through. So just try and keep that in mind when you are having to deal with the public. Alright, and I'm going to close with just showing you the other corner of my dining room here. As you can see, the variegated peace lily that I trimmed back last week is doing fantastic. She loves her new spot. I have no more browning on the tips of the leaves, and I'm getting a ton of new growth in addition to the flowers, which I love. And then in this corner we've got the Mandula, and that one is it, and it does better when you neglect it. You can see how it's growing. She's really taken off. When I bought this plant, it was sold, I got it at Kmart, and it was sold as a marble queen. And most of the leaves looked kind of like this, so I thought it was a marble queen. And after I had it a while, I thought, you know, this does not look like a marble queen. And when I was giving it the care of a marble queen, it was declining. I was having a hard time keeping it alive. And then someone told me, I think it was Suzette, that said, that looks like a Mandula. And I had never heard of a Mandula, so I looked it up, and the care for the two plants is different, and the lighting was different. So I gave it the care for a Mandula, and sure enough, it took off like crazy. So thank you, Suzette. You saved my plant once again. And then here we've got my Hartley Philodendron. Most of you know that I absolutely love that plant. I think it's just gorgeous, and it's growing like crazy. And I've got another one starting here, and it's doing well too. So that's it, folks. This is my mess that I gotta get cleaned up. And, well, I guess I could show you my Hoyas. They're doing really good. They love the bright light. They're about 6 inches, if that, away from the light, and they're doing fantastic. I've already taken several huge hunks of these and given them away to my girls, and still have a lot left here. So I just love this cabinet with my Hoyas in it. Alright, I'm going to call it a day, and I want to thank you all again for hanging in there with me, and I hope you'll come back, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a repotting video very soon. I know a lot of you really love those, and I love doing them, so hopefully I will see you in the very near future. In the meantime, please take care of yourself and be kind to others. Okay, bye now.